1 qualifier. The finals are here. Everybody turn on your phone lights. Let's light this place up. Turn on your phone lights. Hey-o. Let's light it up. Larry Chen gonna snap the pics. Larry, you ready, buddy? Little baby send. Let's send it! Atlanta, line up the night. The finals are here. It's a Falcon 1-2. In which order are they gonna land? Matt Field, the beast from the Bay, initiates. Throwing into that first front clip. Aurimas Bakchi's right there on the back. Oh! Aurimas Bakchi's lunges forward, gets in to the side of Matt Field. You see him go on the opposite side. The accident happens. And the carbon Kevlar body kit lands right in front. Oh man, we got side skirts, front bumpers. We got it all. That was interesting. How did he go on that side? Odie says, look, I need damage on this side too. Let's just go and throw it on that side.
Well, we know these guys come out aggressive, and this is a course where you're going really fast then slow, then really fast again, then slow, then really fast again. And these kind of things can happen in areas like that. Now remember, that's a decel zone, that's a decel zone, that's not a decel zone. That's not a decel zone, that's not a decel zone. The decel zone starts there, and then it goes up to the start of outside zone number 2. So just for the record, that's how the track is laid out. They even touched, they kissed. I think Odie transitioned a little quickly there.
Yeah. Well, it was like it was a shallow transition. So looks like they did kiss there, and then, yeah, I think he just gripped up and it shot him to the right side as opposed to kind of getting loose and dropping in a formation.
So interesting. Let's take a look back at Odie. He has not used a competition timeout. Field has not used a competition timeout, so they both have one. We will need to get fault because this is now deemed as a collision because the run stopped.
Yep.
So fault has to happen here. We typically will also do fault if there's just contact, which means the run doesn't necessarily stop, just in case there is a damaged part that we don't see and it becomes a safety issue. But in this case, where it is completely stopped, it goes into the collision category. We need to deem fault, and then it would be an incomplete for one of the drivers. That's the big thing that happens in a collision, is that the run stops, and that means that somebody caused that accident, that collision, and will be deemed with an incomplete. Here's another look at the momentum zone. You can see clearly the touch and go area where this happened is not a momentum zone. So that means drivers need to be maintaining speed through there. Now, I think you're right, Jared. I think your read on initially is there was a bit of a shallow transition from Odie, and he kind of gripped up and came forward. But have the judges made a call?
Yeah, the judges made a call. Who's at fault? Say it again. Fault on Odie. Was that unanimous? Fault is on Odie. All right. Yeah. So fault is on Odie. So that means Matt Field can put hands on the car and inspect the vehicle. So the fault.
In a pretty clear situation here where there's a clear advantage for Matt Field with Aurimas Bakchi getting fault for the collision and being awarded an incomplete. So that means that Matt Field would need to also incomplete on his chase run in order for there to be the possibility of a one more time. However, 2 incompletes on a chase run mean we could revert to the lead as a comparison, but let's take a look at it again here.
So they do kiss on initiation right here.
Yeah, they kiss here. Field is on throttle well before the inside clip, and then Odie's going to quickly transition a bit early there, and that's where you see the contact. Can we roll that back just real quick one more time? I want to just take a look at one little item, just for my own edification, if you will.
Well, all the lights were on, but they lit up and the boys got lit.
The hype of the finals.
Yep, the hype of the finals, and Matt talked about it. Lorette didn't have words with Odie, but he says, you know, we've driven together, there's no foul play, we know what to expect, and inspecting the corners. There we are overlooking, is that Odie's vehicle? Man, they are working in the dark over there. Absolute pitch black. Fortunately, they got that Type S lighting, right? So 1/2 of the battle is completed. Odie at fault. That means he's at a deficit. Matt Field is 1/2 of a battle left, and he is going to win here in Atlanta, which I don't think he has won before here.
I think no, Odie?
No, I'm saying Field, because Odie's at fault. Field has never won here before.
Right.
I believe
right.
Odie has.
Yeah, he has one here.
Yes.
I remember Ron Bergenholtz cried that night. He's
Yep.
strong.
Yep. Field is focusing on his right rear, possible bent arm. So that could play a major role here. He does have 10 minutes because of the contact and the collision, as you called it, as opposed to a competition timeout. Because he wasn't at fault, it's a 10-minute allotment. Competition timeouts are just 5-minute allotment.
And this is digging deep into the rule book, but this is something that we've had in here in the rule book for a couple of years for situations like this, is that, and I want to go back and do a quick refresher on it, but I do not believe that you can win the finals, that we will wait.
Under fault.
That we will wait and give additional time so that we can see the conclusion of the finals, unless the driver at fault has to bow out of competition.
Right. Right. So we can see the Drift Force boys down there helping as well. Yeah, so you can see that is the hot pit area that's, at the top of the hill. So they take any necessary tools and parts. They have what's called parts boards, where they have corners of the vehicle. A lot of the teams have utilized this for numerous years, but parts boards. So that right corner, the left front, right front, whatever you got. So as can see Lorette Nickel down there. Hopefully we can get some words with Matt Field. And Lorette, go ahead. Down to you, girl.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Hopefully you can hear me. There's a lot of cars and a lot of things in the way. But Matt Field sitting in the car, and there's been some damage to the right side. So tell us what the team is working on fixing.
Right. So, got it? Right now, it's actually this piece called a toe control plate. And it's basically a sacrifice piece that Part Shop Max builds into their knuckle so that we don't destroy a very expensive billet knuckle. So fortunately, just that plate took the hit. We pull it off, bolt a new one on, check the alignment, and send the car on its way. So this is the first time with this new piece that we've tested, and I guess it's working. I can't see. I'm dying to see, but the boys got me. I trust them.
All right, Matt, thank you so much.
Nice. Very good brief interview. Thank you, Lorette, for some insight there. And then shout out to Part Shop Max, right? And that's kind of keeping the damage at bay and minimizing the costly parts, because like you said, that big billet piece, and look at that, boom, like an absolute F1 NASCAR team. So, what's that?
Yeah, you want to get appropriate confidence. You want to get intelligent parts.
Let's go. Yeah, that's right. Appropriate confidence, baby. When we come back, we will see Matt Field and Aurimas Bakchi finish out the finals here at Michelin Race 1. Formula Drift champion will be crowned. So the clock is ticking. The car is not moving. Maybe just aligning it. I think they're just checking the alignment, and I think that's smart. Take the time. You have the 44 seconds, and it should be good to go. Seeing what's going on here. All right. Hey, Lorette, throwing it down to you. Do they have more time outside of this? I guess they could take 5 more minutes, huh?
He could call his competition timeout, which would give him 5 more minutes. The clock is running down. You can see 24 seconds left. It looks like the guys were measuring the toe. Right now they're working on the front right tire. Matt told me he got hit hardest in the back, so it might be all set, but Kevin Wells holding the clock right now. 7 seconds, and my assumption is that they're going to call the 5 minutes.
All right, yeah, it looks like that clock has expired, so boom, the 5-minute clock does begin. So 5-minute allotment on top of that 10-minute, because again, the contact, the collision, 10 minutes was allotted, and now he's utilizing the competition timeout, the whole team. You can see them working on it. Ryan, what do you got?
Well, I was wanting to reference that section in the rule book that talks about this specific thing. It's in 5.1.3. It says, in the case where you have a situation in the final battle where a driver has excessive damage to his vehicle, and we want to finish the event so that way the lead driver can't take advantage of this rule. Hey, I know I'm not at fault, and not fix their car.
Yeah. That
we reserve the right to give them more time to fix the vehicle. If the car is completely smashed up and totally trashed, then they would call it, and then Matt would get the win in that situation. But the way that the rule is written here is it says if the case above occurs in the final battle. Formula Drift reserves the right to make adjustments to the rule above in order to complete the competition. Example, allow additional time beyond the 10 minutes for repairs.
Got it.
So we kind of have that in there. I know Kevin knows that. I believe that they're not super rushing, so I think that they're confident they're going to be able to get it back out there. And obviously, Field doesn't want to win it by sitting on the sidelines.
No, most definitely not. And this isn't something that Odie wanted to happen either. I know we're focusing on Matt Field, but I believe that we haven't checked in on Odie. I don't know if he called the comp timeout either or as well, excuse me, but you know, I know that the teal and blue teams are working, so the clock is ticking for Matt Field, but you brought up a great point. They're not thrashing. You can see the alignment tools there on the wheels, making sure everything is up to snuff. And looks like just rolling it, check it one more time. Fire her up, let her rip, Tater Chip. That's right. All right, there it is. Matt Field is rolling. Make some noise, Atlanta. Don't stop believing. That's right, Brooks. Don't stop believing. That is right, Brooks Church in the building. Thank you, sir. He is a fun haver for sure. Just a small town boy, you know what I mean? Living in a lonely world. All right, Matt Field, you can see Von Gittin Jr. He knows he's got third place, but who's going to get the win? So with that contact of Odie and Field, Odie sits with the deficit. Field with some confidence, feeling the flow. It's all mind games, as he says.
Yeah, the tricky part here is you know Odie's going to get out of the gate fast. So Field doesn't really have the ability to kind of sit back and sandbag this one because he could be in active chase.
Yeah.
Interesting thing is how much damage was sustained that may have an effect on the run for either drivers. That's always a hard thing to kind of tell from our perspective.
Something you can't see.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked about that, you know, the development of that suspension bit by Part Shop Max to not sustain damage, mitigate damage, and make sure that you're not, you know, having to replace that full corner. But the problem is there's that, you know, it's not the $1,000 part that usually breaks. It's usually the 10-cent part that breaks.
Yeah.
That'll end up getting you. You know what I mean? That's like Gucci in his line. You know, he didn't have any power, and it was just a dumb line that popped off.
We can't allow that.
No. Higher tiered vibes. Higher tiered vibes, my friend. Did we confirm if Matt Field? I really want to go out on a limb and say that I believe he has never won here at Atlanta.
In terms of confirmation, I'm going to say that that's pretty certain.
Yeah. All right. So again, let's get those lights up once again. We got a packed house. Adam Jabay's tuning in. Jababy, how we doing, buddy? Adam Jababy tuning in. Thank you, guys and gals, all of you for watching. We still have a packed house here. Yeah, let's pull out those lights. Turn them on Saturday night.
Yeah.
You ain't got anywhere else to go but here. So light up the night. Get those camera lights going. The phone lights. Yeah, Matt Field's only win came in 2016, Texas and Irwindale.
Trying to get that triple.
Yeah. Would love to see that for Matt Field. So again, light up the night. Here we go. Larry Chen with the flicks. Baby Send. Spicy Leaf. Jammer. What would it be? Joner Bams. Let's go. Chris Yule, Joner Bams. Is that sufficient? Here we go. Send it for the finals. Odie Bakchi's out front. Matt Field in the chase position. Who's coming out on top? Odie. Missing some of those carbon Kevlar bits, wraps it around that front clip, gets a little closer, doesn't have that bumper on. And look at this big angle. Matt Field with a big correction.
Oh boy.
And Matt Field is that considered incomplete, kind of came out of power, and now coming back down the hill.
Guys.
Is that an incomplete, but the contact, Ryan, I hear you screaming, hooting and hollering, is that enough? Wow.
I mean, this is a weird situation because the incomplete by Odie comes in the chase. Matt Field couldn't finish his lead run, so they don't have a lead run to compare if the two incompletes in the chase are in fact legit. Odie had one for hitting Matt, right? Now let's take a look at Matt in the chase. Oh, man, this is getting interesting. We thought it was over. Matt Field right there brings angle out of the car, and then again coming up the hill, he understeers for a second. The car is struggling. The car is struggling, and Matt, in this critical part right there, he understeers, loses some angle. So the question is, and that one was a little bit more extreme, the question is that an incomplete? Because if it's an incomplete, both drivers in the chase have incompletes. Odie hit Matt, so he didn't have a lead run that the judges could compare it to. Somebody help me.
Help me, help. The judges are deliberating right now, and they're analyzing just as hard as you are. Oh man, the fans don't want to go home. The fans are. Guess what?
You gotta be kidding me.
You know, if this shows up, they're going one more time.
Goodness gracious.
Haven't seen it already. We ain't going anywhere. Rutledge, I'll be there soon, buddy. Might be around 1 a.m. though. Local time 10:20. When we come back, the one more time battle between the frenemies. Are they friends? Are they enemies? A little bit of both. They're frenemies. Aurimas Bakchi, Matt Field. The finals continue here at round 1 of the Fórmula Drift Pro Championship. And we are back, baby. Can you feel the heat wave? Yeah, the sun is set, but whew, you can feel the heat coming off that car. These two drivers, both of them just had some flubs talking with their spotters, Chow and Amy, and it's like, what's up? And I don't know. They just didn't have it. Field kind of fell on his face there in that chase run, and not the way you want to get it done. So let's see a clean, fair fight, fellas. Let's see what we got, you frenemies.
Looks like somebody. Are they on the phone? What's going on here?
I don't know. Call me maybe.
There's no major activity going on with Field. Does it look like he's changed his tires? Is that it was his headset that was reflecting. That's what I looked like.
Ripper just checking the lugs.
No, they are pulling them off, so they haven't changed the tires yet. Obviously, this is the finals. We'll give them opportunity to breathe here. You know, they may have had to. What may have happened here is they ran out of the tire allocation, and they may have had to go get tires from somewhere else. That is not uncommon because of the way that tire allocations work.
Okay, what's going on here?
So we're seeing, there they are. They went and got.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we got to get more.
Yeah.
Check these out.
Okay. Well, I'm seeing some on the truck there. Are those used? They might be used, huh? So, yeah, strapping on some freshies. Getting some new Falcon meat hooks. Ryan, just a little calm right now. Just chilling, just hanging. As soon as they drop that thing down, though, it's go time. So fresh and so lean.
Yep.
Brand new wheel sponsor for Matt Field, Forge Star. It's on Air Raid. You can see all the sponsors there. RTS, Texas Speed. Met the Texas Speed dudes at Cletus McFarland at the Freedom 500. The Texas Speed dudes were out there. Good cats. Ryan, it's funny because I listened to the Maximum Driftcast. My money was kind of on Odie. I said Chelsea. I think Odie's is hungry. Matt's always kind of I don't want to say a dark horse, but he's just always this kind of like, hey, like pops up out of the corner like, hey, what's going on, guys? Like that. I feel like that's kind of his style. And I don't want to say he comes out of nowhere, but on the Maximum Driftcast podcast, they didn't talk about him until like the last 10 minutes. They're like, oh yeah, we didn't talk about like Matt Field at all, and here he is in the finals.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting. All right, we got all this teal and blue, but let's talk to another teal and blue driver. Lorette Nickel is with JTP.
Crazy. I got hit, like bent a knuckle, by mistake, we didn't have a spare, so we were able to run to a local shop. I used a press to press the knuckle like straight again, and then we ran into a throwout bearing issue in qualifying, so we had to drop the transmission out. I had to rebuild the throwout bearing, get it ready for today, and then everything kind of worked out. We had some like good battles and just getting things back together. But honestly, I'm just glad I get to drive the car into the trailer. It's all in one piece. Everything's working really good now, and not like it did beginning of this weekend. Some of these guys, they got a lot of work to do.
Well, Justin, I sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Jared.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I like JTP's stance. I like that. He's like, my car's clean. It's good. Some dudes, they got some work to do, and that's a short 2 weeks. Okay, I see a couple royal purple banger sticks out there. See some lights, see some strobes. Yeah, looks good. Okay, yeah, right on. Thank you, guys. All-star special, scattered, capped, covered, right? Scattered, so my move is, so it's scattered, so smothered is cheese, right? Covered, cubed, chunked, and then capped. I like the shrooms. I like the shrooms. Here we go. Here we go. That is Matt Field and Aurimas Bakchi. Nice job there by Matt Field on initiation, going to that first outside zone. Into the second outside zone. Both these guys are dialed. Rip Rourke ready to go into the keyhole. Around that front clip, out of the keyhole, both these drivers go. Now down into the touch and go, and that final clip. Looks like we got a full pull here, Ryan. Look at that. Oh, just as I say that. Aurimas Bakchi's overshoots, 2 tires off.
I think it was past the finish line.
It was past the finish line. I was over here busy talking about the Dub House, the old Waffle House, man.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
Well, Matt Field looks like he's back in charge here. Nice initiation. You can see e-brake pull, but he's back on throttle just right at that inside clip. Odie was making the right adjustments, but he went a little bit long as he was making the approach to the first inside clip. Now Matt Field gets into that zone. Odie keeping the pressure on, using the grip of that S15 to charge back at Matt Field. Good transition through the smoke line. Here comes Odie. Look at that, right in the pocket there. Battle on hands here going into the night as we try to finish up Road Atlanta. And that was right at the finish line.
That was Sketchball 5000.
Hey-o.
Sketchy Odie. All right. Are we going to get a winner? What do you think, Insta Steve? Insta Big Steve, what do you think? Are we going to get a winner? Either way, it's a Falcon Tire win, baby. Teal and blue, 1 and 2. That's how we do. You could use that in the ad, okay? Teal and blue, 1 and 2, that's how we do. Trademark, there we go. It's all you, thank you. I'll send you my Venmo. All right, speaking of Venmo, talking about getting paid, let's send it Atlanta for potentially the last time here of the evening. Aurimas Bakchi's out front, Matt Field sweating them. Look at this, around that first front clip. Oh man, Matt Field, he is a man possessed. Aurimas Bakchi's filling all that outside zone 1, outside zone 2. Field taking a shallower line, but look at Matt Field. Oh man, he took a shallower line. He had a correction, exiting out of the keyhole, and then back up the hill. Woo! Matt looked like 2020 Matt Field there. He was like, he looked like a Tasmanian devil, little blah, 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 blah. Like he was going for it when he came out of the keyhole. He did have that correction, and then I saw the judges kind of like, you know, face in hands.
Well, they started even at the beginning of this battle, and now one driver is gonna win here tonight. After a crazy one more time, we find ourselves here with Odie going deep into outside zone 2. Matt Field sticking to him on the door, transitioning back around. There's that flub that he makes on the transition, leaving the keyhole. Odie's trying to stretch out his lead and gapping Matt Field towards the end. There it is again. You can see he got a little unstuck as he was just in the wrong position on the track. Odie firing through that last inside clip. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a battle here on our hands. Here's the FPV coming down. Excessive speeds, mid-90s sometimes from these guys, flying into that first corner. And you can see right there, Field comes off that first outside zone a little bit early, doesn't follow Odie all the way out to the second. But he's keeping the proximity there, and here, this is where he makes that mistake. Look at the front wheels. That was quite a bit of time to be straight with those front wheels when you're drifting, and we saw a pretty solid shot of it there from the FPV drone, which is not the kind of evidence you want if you're looking to take the win here. If we have a winner, we'll bring them down. If you see the scorecard go up, you know what that means. You ready to do your thing? This will be the first time.
What's my thing?
You know,
Oh.
hey, in third place, this guy. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why do you downplay it? Obviously, you don't like it, Ryan. You ready to do your thing, Ryan? You ready to hate Ryan? Oh, man. Whew. All right. I am ready to do my thing. I am ready to do my thing. I'm excited. Hey, Atlanta, did you guys have fun tonight? Make some noise. Oh, come on. Come on. Guys, thank you, Atlanta, so much for coming out here and joining us, sticking around, hard charging, hard partying. Here's our BC Racing custom coilover side-by-side instant replay, Ryan.
Well, what do you guys at home think? Is it Aurimas Bakchi or Matt Field? We find ourselves here after a really crazy one more time battle where it looked like Matt Field had it in the bag. Obviously, the car was not fully functional. He got it incomplete in his chase. The judges had no choice but to go one more time, and so we do it again. Odie, Sans, quite a few parts on the vehicle. Still looks like he is on point and charging.
All right, so we do have a winner, as Ryan just stated. We'll bring him over there. We'll bring him right here in the horseshoe. We know third place, but who gets the win here in Atlanta?
Oh, man, what a weekend. What a week.
Yo, so awesome to just think about, you know, what we've all endured, you know, as far as the home life, as far as, you know, the vehicles and watching everything from a distance. It's great to be next to you.
It's so awesome.
It's great. It's absolutely insane.
A smidget of normality and everything that's crazy is going on. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to Orlando. I've done a couple events out there in Florida with Cletus McFarland. Shout out to Hell Yeah, brother. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. As Florida will be awesome. Orlando Speed World in just a couple weeks. If you're here in the building, join us at the podium. But join us, again, scorched. Here are our three drivers. And one will be crowned the winner of Atlanta. We talked about, you know, and there it is, some celebratory donuts. Well, here we go, those three vehicles coming up to the infamous horseshoe. And there he is, your defending champion, Vaughn Gittin Jr. Got that third place podium. Your defending and two-time champion, stepping outside of his vehicle, a great place to be, given just the fierce competition, an awesome display of horsepower. Make some noise for your third place finisher here, round one of the Formula Drift Pro Championship, Royal Purple Road to the Championship, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Third place, Vaughn Gittin Jr. All right, and now your winner here at round one, where it all began in 2004, celebrating 18 years of Formula Drift after 700 plus days of not being back here at this iconic track. It feels good, Atlanta. Make some noise for all our drivers. It's a win-win for everybody, but it's a win, 1 and 2 for the teal and blue. That's how we do. Your winner here at Road Atlanta, pilots a Falcon Tire vehicle, has a V8 under the hood, is one of two frenemies, and the winner is unanimous. Aurimas Bakchi. Aurimas Bakchi gets the win, and Matt Field gets second place Falcon Tire 1 and 2, Aurimas Bakchi in the Falcon Tires field suspension. S15 gets the win. Matt Field, your number 1 qualifier, comes up just a bit short, gets second place in that Falcon Tires Drift Cave Corvette. Vaughn Gittin Jr. rounds out the podium with that Monster Energy Nitto tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Lorette Nickel is down there. She is going to wrap out with Aurimas Bakchi. Lorette?
Odie, congratulations. Your first win of 2021. Amazing. Round number 1. Man, when you were lining up on that hill with Matt Field, what was going through your mind?
You know, I was honestly, I'd say I was too excited. We run together all the time in much more tamer cars, not full-blown, pro cars, and I think we just got comfortable. I got comfortable running in demo cars, and when I chased him, I went hard. I wanted to go hard for all of you guys, put on a good show. I typically love chasing, and when I get to chase a straight-up driver like Matt, I go all in. And yeah, I believe I overcooked it quite a bit. I just laid down as good of a run on the other battle. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna think to myself that I pushed Matt's car pretty hard to the point where he had trouble making the second run. So it's kind of a bittersweet. Matt was killing it, and it was a really, really fun event. I really just wish that we didn't have to bump into each other. I wish that I didn't have to run into him and run cleaner, but the car's batched up overall. Thank you so much for my team for keeping that thing going. We got hit over and over again, and I can't believe it's still running. It might not actually run very well after this. We're going to have to put in a lot of work, but hats off to Formula Drift for putting on a great event, and thank you for letting us play out here.
Aurimas Bakchi, congratulations. Round number 1 win. Jared.
Yeah, thank you, Lorette. Thank you so much.